So you have anxiety symptoms that won't go away even though you went to the freaking doctor to get your initial reassurance, to get that test to prove that this is anxiety and not some horrible disease. But now you go home and the symptoms start in on you again. And now you're confused. Wait a second, I just went to the doctor. They told me that I was healthy. They told me that this was anxiety, and I felt good in that moment. Why am I still having these symptoms now that I fully accept anxiety like I've been told I need to do? So make sure that you watch this whole video. If you deal with anxiety, if you have anxiety symptoms, any type of anxiety disorder, be a part of the family, subscribe today. Let's jump into this. So to keep this simple, I'm going to use chest pain as our anxiety symptom. A lot of you deal with chest pain, but honestly, this can go for any anxiety symptom. It can work the exact same way. So let's say that you developed anxiety-related chest pain. I want you to think about how much rewiring, how much negative energy, and how much focus you put on that chest pain. You basically created a subconscious habit to deliver chest pain to you because of the negative energy, fear, and focus that you put on that chest pain. Anxiety is going to do the opposite of what you want it to do. If you want it to go away, it magnifies. If you want the chest pain to stop, like most of you do, it actually gets worse. So the chest pain is getting worse. It's becoming more chronic. Instead of it happening in acute triggering situations on a conscious level, now you're having subconscious chest pain. I want you to view the symptom as a habit of the subconscious. You have indirectly said, with your fear and your focus, please keep sending me chest pain because I'm scared and this message is actually working. So you've either spent a week all the way up to a few months before you finally get the courage to go to the doctor. I want you to think about the amount of damage and amount of rewiring and amount of fear and focus that you can put on this symptom to convince the subconscious that that symptom is needed and that it is the new norm. You have normalized chest pain. So you go to the doctor, they tell you, hey, everything looks great. Your blood work looks great. This is very likely anxiety. So especially the first appointment, in my case, I walked out of that doctor's office on cloud nine. I was like, oh my God, thank God, a new chance at life. I'm healthy. Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. I got to change my life. I got a new appreciation for life. I go back home, my chest starts to hurt again. And then I'm thinking, whatever. Another day goes by, another 2 days go by, the chest pain's still there. And then guess what happens? And many of you can relate. You start to distrust what the doctor told you. You start to think that they misdiagnosed you. And of course, this can lead to going to different doctors, getting different opinions, getting more and more testing. And this can drag out for years for some of you. This dragged out for 2.5 years for me. I will say this. Yeah, sometimes there's a tiny chance that you could be misdiagnosed. So in order to reduce that chance, get a second opinion. And for those of you that are really, really nervous, take it to the specialist level. For instance, if you're worried about your heart, go see a cardiologist. So why did these anxiety symptoms keep happening whenever I went to a doctor and I was told that I was fine, that my test results were good, and that this is anxiety, not a disease? Think about the damage that you've done in the days, weeks, or months leading up to this appointment. Think about how many times you told yourself that you were going to die, in this case with chest pain, of a heart attack, right? Or there's something wrong with your heart. Or I'm going to die at the age of 20 or 25 or 30. Think about how many times you imagined your funeral, your obituary. Think about that. You have convinced the subconscious 100% that there is something wrong with us, that we are not healthy. And that's why the symptoms continue happening, because you scared the hell out of your subconscious. Just because the doctor says that you're good does not mean the subconscious is like, okay, never mind. Just because you walk out of that doctor's office being like, yes, I accept. The subconscious is still likely a month behind all this. How do you get things to change? You gain back the trust of your subconscious whenever you say we are healthy and that you accept. It doesn't trust you. If you tell somebody a lie 3,000 times and then you come through and tell the truth one time, do you think they're going to believe you? No. Your subconscious is no different. It doesn't mean that I have to come through 3,000 more times to make my subconscious believe me, but I better start telling the truth and I better start being consistent. So that's why. And then this thing drags out longer the more you send it mixed signals. So you have to actually back up what you're saying. If you say you accept and whenever you come home and the chest pain kicks in, okay, you better keep on accepting. You better show the subconscious that we're healthy. You now have to convince the subconscious that things are safe, that you are healthy, that you got checked out by a doctor, right? While you work on the root causes of your anxiety, to convince it that these symptoms, whatever they may be, in whatever situation you're going through, that they are not needed. So instead of just talking the talk, you got to walk the walk. So you can't wake up and say, I accept, and then at 3 p.m. you're Googling or checking your vitals or making constant doctor's appointments nonstop. What would a healthy person do? What would a recovered person do? Live that life to show the subconscious that these symptoms are not needed. The problem is a lot of you guys don't want to wait a month. A lot of you guys don't want to be consistent for 3 weeks. You don't like the symptoms, they annoy you, they scare you, and I get the annoyance and some of the fear, but we have to show the subconscious that we're not afraid and that they're not needed. And we got to back that up with our actions. So that's why, guys, you have told your subconscious for so long, X amount of time, that this symptom represents that. And it's become a habit of the subconscious to continuously send you this symptom because of the fear, negative energy and focus that you've put on that symptom. It magnified it. It solidified it. It's a habit. So now to undo the habit, you have to change your actions. You have to be consistent in a different way. So change your response whenever you have this symptom and be consistent with it, and things get better. But if you're interested in recovery, check out my course, Elite Anxiety Bootcamp. I'll put that down below in the description and in the first pinned comment. It's changing lives. Be a part of that. Super affordable. Online therapy is down below, and my coaching info is down there. But please, again, subscribe, all right? If you're new here, be a part of the family. Please like this video if you got value. And until next time, guys, keep fighting.